Welcome, listeners, to another episode of Catchupcast. I'm Ethan.
I'm Isaac, I guess. Yeah, that'd be me.
You guess you're Isaac. That's good.
What?
You guess you're Isaac?
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Got it.
Most of the time.
You're listening to Catchupcast, the podcast where, believe it or not, we do not discuss condiments.
So, how has your week been?
My week has been kind of crazy. I think I mentioned in the last podcast, it was Tech Week for that play.
Oh, yeah?
So I was at rehearsal for 5-6 hours every night, which meant I was up really late doing homework and stuff. But the play turned out amazing. The audience really seemed to like it.
All right.
I only messed up majorly once, and it's a funny mess up, so I'll tell the story. There's this scene where one of the characters and I are talking about sex.
Talking about the what?
Because we're both about sex.
Talking about the what?
Sex. The sex.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure we lost all of our sponsorship when you said that. Yeah, no worries.
By sex, of course, I mean the birds and the bees.
Now, is this a PG audience, or what are we going for? I guess I swore in the first episode. We can't.
Yeah, they're all big boys and girls. They can deal with it.
All right. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Continue about your sex talk.
So it's these two teenagers, Catholic teenagers, sort of. I'm trying to think of the right word. Not exploring.
The repressed is what you're saying.
Navigating. I'm not here to make that call.
You're repressed is what you're saying.
But my character wants to become a priest, and he wants to really devote his life to this.
Okay.
So sex isn't really, a thing that he's going to be having a lot of.
Sure, you could put it that way.
Well, that's the character. That's just what's in the script. I'm not making.
Okay. Yeah.
Again. And so his friend's asking him well, aren't you gonna miss even just having the whole love experience? Isn't that gonna be something you're gonna miss out on? And my character says, no, it's fine. And he says, well, don't you miss it? And the line is sometimes, when I see you with Maggie. Maggie is the girlfriend of this character, sort of.
Okay.
Not my character, the other character.
Yeah, I got it.
But there's another character in the play named Mary Beth, and their names both start with M and have the same first syllable. And so opening night, I mixed up the two characters in that scene.
Huh.
And it was fine. It was funny. But it was just a really obvious mess up that the audience had to have noticed. But I covered it because I think basically what I said was sometimes, when I see you with Maggie, ooh.
I think that's kind of funny, though. I feel like that's more funny than the other way.
I got a kick out of it, and that's what got recorded for the DVD.
Oh, nice.
So it's immortalized forever.
That's perfect.
What about you? What have you been up to?
Not much. I did a ski race this weekend.
Fun.
Yeah, it was good. The conditions were pretty sloppy. It was right around freezing and fresh snow. And if you guys know anything about
not ideal,
anything about Nordic skiing, wax conditions for freezing and fresh snow are just horrific. It's the worst type of conditions you can try to wax for. So I actually ended up going
because you'd want it to be packed down, right?
Yeah, it's real packed down and really slick. And if you do any wax that works above freezing, because there is some, they'll probably clump up and you'll not be able to go anywhere because your wax will stick too much to the snow. But if you use a wax that's made for below freezing, which there are many, it'll slide too much and you won't be able to get any grip on the snow. So it's a very tricky situation to be in. But yeah.
Fine line to, yeah.
So I just use wax-less skis. So they're called fish scale skis. Because sometimes the little cut that they make on the inside of the kick zone looks like a fish scale. So it goes smooth in one direction and catches in the other direction. And those tend to work fairly okay.
I'm learning so much about skiing from this podcast.
I feel like we should just start a spin-off podcast, Ski Talk.
Welcome to Ski Talk, the podcast where we talk about skis.
Ski Talk.
It is interesting though, because like my knowledge of skiing up to now has been sort of there's downhill and there's cross country, and that is the only distinction.
Well, right now there's the
But-
Olympics going on. You know that? I mean, while
That's
we're
true.
recording this, maybe not while we're publishing.
Right. But
When is this going to come out, by the way?
in about 3 weeks.
Great. So I can say all I want about problems I'm having right now and not worry about the consequences.
Unless the problems are still going in 3 weeks, which would be very unfortunate.
I mean, they probably will be, but that doesn't mean this person's going to listen to them.
This is true.
All right, maybe we'll save it for later. We'll just put a little tease out there.
Yeah. For you folks.
So do you have a list of things to talk about?
I have one thing I wrote down
Okay.
that is actually related to our last episode.
Oh yeah, our Social Security
I went
numbers
out-
episode.
This isn't quite as controversial as that.
Oh, okay.
It might be. I don't know. I might upset the food fandom.
Oh, go ahead.
But
go ahead.
I went out for coffee on Saturday.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to get off campus, so one of my friends and I walked down to this coffee shop, and I got a cappuccino and a scone. It was a good time.
Okay.
But they have a bunch to eat there, including strombolis.
Oh right. Yeah.
Among those was a pepperoni pizza stromboli.
There you go. Is it a calzone or is it a stromboli?
What I observed, I didn't get it because I wanted a scone.
Oh, come
What I
on.
observed was next time I'll have to do more research.
Yeah.
But the strombolis, they were sort of open ended.
Oh.
Like it was still like a pastry-esque thing, but the ends were a little more open.
Were they cut
instead of
open?
pressed
Did
together,
you see,
like
or
in a
were they like
calzone.
left open before the cooking?
They were left
Oh,
open.
okay. That changes things.
Whereas a calzone is like a fully folded up,
Right.
little, like
Completely sealed.
almost like a pizza dumpling, almost.
Right. You could call it that. Yeah. Is it a pizza dumpling or is it a calzone?
So, I don't know if that answers our controversial discussion from last week,
Wow.
but
That's some real investigative reporting you got going on.
I'm always thinking about it. You know?
Yeah, we ask the tough questions here on Catchupcast.
That's right. Catchupcast, the only podcast where we really get into the nitty-gritty details about stuff you never cared about.
So, in a theoretic universe, if all foods with more than 2 ingredients had to either be categorized into either a soup or a sandwich, what would a bread bowl be? Like a bread bowl you eat soup out of. Would it be a soup or would it be a
A
sandwich?
soup. It would be a soup.
Yeah, but then what happens when you eat all the soup? And you have got that bowl, the bread husk bowl. Would that be a sandwich then?
Yeah.
So it's both. It starts out as soup and
It's
then ends
both.
up a sandwich.
Metamorphosis. It's really beautiful when you think about it.
It's a great play by
Oscar Wilde.
No, that is not true. Metamorphosis was written by.
Oh, there's an actual play. I'm the theater guy.
Oh no, it's
I should
not
know
a
this.
play. It's
No.
a poem. It's by Kafka. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where the guy turns into a cockroach. It's a beautiful one.
It really tugs at your heartstrings.
And then his family kills him because they hate cockroaches. Yeah. Cool.
Hmm.
So what else? That was the one thing you wanted to talk about?
He gets turned into a cockroach?
The metamorphosis guy, yeah.
Why?
I don't remember, but I think for some like existential reason probably. And then his family is like debating whether to kill him or not, or like what use he poses to the. Yeah, Kafka had some messed up childhood, huh?
That's true. He was an interesting fella.
Yeah, to say the least, I guess. We can talk more about Victorian, or they're not. He's not Victorian. I don't know what era he would be. I forget. We can talk more about European authors if you want.
You have any European authors on the brain? I have some poetry stuff I want to discuss.
You had some poetry
so
stuff.
this is a good segue for that. Yeah.
Oh, well, I think this is a great segue from talking about the short story of Metamorphosis to some poetry by yours truly.
All right.
Yours
I guess
truly as
I'll
in you.
dive right in. Right.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. So I've mentioned a couple times my creative writing class. We're focusing the first half of the semester exclusively on poetry.
Damn, that's cool.
Uh, it is cool. It's refreshing to just sort of write instead of like trying to make a prose, just sort of to write lines and sort of have the rhythm come about
Some
naturally.
free form.
I'm a big fan of. I love free form poetry. I think it's more. I'm trying to talk about it without using the word free, but it's more freeing to sort of write and let the poem happen rather than try to like, oh, I gotta have iambic pentameter, I gotta have it rhyme, blah blah blah.
Some good iambic
Um,
pentameter in there.
yeah, it's the good stuff.
Okay, yeah, sorry, go ahead. I just remembered a funny joke
Uh,
about iambic pentameter, but go ahead.
well, let's hear the joke
Well,
real
no, it's
quick
more of a
then.
situational joke. We're talking about that conversation that your role there was talking about.
Right?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The
the sex
Yeah,
conversation.
we're talking about that. We're talking about what people like to say during such things,
Okay.
and the topic of iambic pentameter came up, and we're like, what if that's the only thing that just really worked, that like you really liked quite a bit, and and I thought it was a pretty funny idea.
I would like to take you out on a date. I think that we would both be really great. Let's
That's
go home
definitely
to my
not
place
iambic
later tonight.
pentameter.
And it
No, it's
is.
not.
It is. Da 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 da
No, but
da. That's
it has
iambic
to do with the
pentameter.
rhyme scheme, not the.
I was rhyming.
Were you?
Date great tonight. I was going to talk about jeans being tight in the next line.
Okay,
That's a
fine.
that's rhyme. That's AABV.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. Fine. All right, you win that one.
I was trying to be funny and sheesh, okay.
All right.
No,
Okay.
but I think
Sorry.
that
Go
would
ahead.
be
Continue
a
on with
funny.
your poetry talk. Poetry.
Uh, anyway, in this class, the professor wants us to be writing poems every day,
Oh, nice.
which is a lot to ask, and I have not kept up my share of the work.
Bummer.
I mostly because of rehearsals. It's hard to like when I'm running from class to class, and my only breaks are where I'm actually eating, so I don't starve to death. It's hard to sit down and write a poem. So this past weekend, I wrote, and I'm outing myself here, and I apologize if my professor ever listens to this, but I wrote like 6 poems and just like lied about the dates they were written.
Classic good old disacademic honesty. That's great. Yeah.
I'm still writing poems. I'm still producing a nice output of poems.
That's true though. I feel like my
So isn't
poems
that
come
the
in
important thing?
fits and starts. I never write like some days I'll like bang like 3 or 4 poems out really good.
Hmm.
And then other days I just don't write at all. I feel like poetry is sort of a hard thing to nail down every day, but I do see how that's a productive thing to be doing.
I feel like his thinking is like the more we do it, the more often we do it, the more of a rhythm we'll fall into.
Yes.
Um, Maybe with the show being over, I'll have more time and it'll happen. But for me, poetry is very like I have to sit down and actually like it's either spur of the moment or I have to think about it for a while. I can't just like rattle off one a day.
Yeah, that's true. It's also a good thing to get into the habit of trying to find inspiration every day.
I agree. I think we all should do that more.
Yeah,
Get in touch with our creative sides.
true.
But for part of this class, we have to read other people's poems from the class and give feedback.
Ooh, that's no good.
It's anonymous, but like it's hard to like critique wise. Like something might be intentional that I don't like, but it's a like
Right, it's very
it's a technique
subjective.
they're using. I might not be able to glean the meaning from what they're saying, but I might just not have the right experiences. One guy's poems are all about sports, uh, which, as I'm sure we've discussed multiple times in this podcast, I know literally nothing about.
Yes, I would generally agree with you, seeing as how you tried to get a horse to participate in the
That
super game.
that was 100% you.
We'll run back the tape and we'll see who said that.
I have them all on my computer. I can very easily do that.
Do you
I
have
won't
them
right
on
now because
tape?
it'll.
You like put them down onto like some acetone tape there, and like
No, I just export them to a certain music uh,
the
app.
music streaming
But
service of the mind, said Will Sheff in a performance once. Anyways, that's a joke for the three Ockerville River fans that listen to this that have watched that live stream of a concert. But anyways, yeah,
they'll appreciate it
I'm
though.
sure they
So
will.
that's.
Speaking of which, I've got some exciting news. But go ahead, finish what you were gonna say.
I have nothing else to say. I was just gonna complain more about how I can't get into my classmates' poems, and I have to by tomorrow morning.
Great. Well, I mean,
So
the thing I always want to hear more is you complaining. So yeah, you can go ahead and
tell your
take
story.
another
Tell
little
your
bit.
story. Tell your story, Isaac.
Okay. I know this is a really long time away, but in April, I think it's in the 20s somewhere, April 20 something. Let me
It's not that
see.
far away.
Yeah, I know, but April 27th, Ockerville River's coming out with a new album, and it's called In the Rainbow Rain, and I can't wait.
That's really
It's
exciting.
super exciting. Every time that Ockerville River comes out with a new album, there's some means there's some big stuff going on in my life.
Means you're just gonna listen to the album.
I mean, yeah, but then also it's gonna like, I just feel like every time they drop an album, it causes immense change in my life.
A good change?
I mean, it's like a roller coaster change. It's not like good or bad. It's just like change.
It just changed.
Yeah,
Well, hey, that's. I hope it's primarily good roller coaster
but
change.
I am so excited they dropped a single with it, and it's great. Everybody
Oh,
should go listen to it. Oh, it's
what's
fantastic.
the single called? Let's get some advertising
Yeah,
here.
it's called
Sponsored by Arkema River.
I don't know. It's called what is it called? Hold on. It's called Don't Move
Just
Back to
looking.
LA. Yeah, and it just came out less than 24 hours ago. Isn't that
So this is
amazing?
like hot off the press
Hot off the
music.
press.
That is
Now,
amazing.
drop that needle, DJ. Let's hear it on the podcast.
Wow, that was a great
Yeah, it was
song.
amazing, right? Oh, gets me every time.
I mean, I can't say every time, seeing as I have never heard it
I have
before.
literally listened to it 10 times today, at the very least.
I haven't. I've only listened to it the one time.
Like, yeah, I think,
But
yeah, it's great. I'm excited. But it's so long away. It's
so
April 27th. Oh,
but think how sweet it's gonna be once it drops.
it's gonna be. There'll probably be less snow on the ground. The sun will be out for longer. I'll have found what to do with my life. Uh,
Pop in those earbuds and go for a walk and listen to it.
yeah, all of my problems will be solved.
It'll be perfect.
And from hearing an interview from, or not an interview, like hearing Will Sheff talk about it, apparently it's like his cheeriest album yet. Like he's super happy in his life, and he feels as though this is working its way into his music, and like the album cover is just super bright and tropical. It really made my day.
Well, that's awesome.
And
I'm really excited for you.
yeah, now, anything else you want to talk about? You have a list going?
I should start writing. I should start carrying a notebook with me and write stuff down whenever I think of
Because I
it.
feel like
'Cause
I just have a list going of things to talk about, and then I'm just like
I just talk about what's
one-sidedly
going on in
shooting
my
these things
life.
at you.
It's, but I don't know what's going on with you. We're catching up. I like hearing what's going on.
All right, all right. I guess that's the premise of this podcast, but you know,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I.
could be a little more two-way street. I've already checked off one thing on my podcast list to talk to you about. We
I
got
don't
one,
do
two,
that
three,
much.
four, five more to go.
I went to a party on
Did you
Saturday.
really? How did that go?
My first college party. I had a lot of fun.
It was not your first college party.
It was. I mean, I went to a theater thing last year, but there was like a whole night leading up to it, and the party was like the the butt end of it, and it got busted anyway.
Okay. I don't know if you can legally say that on a podcast, but
It's a thing that happened. Everyone who was there knows it
all
happened.
right, no, I get it, but like I don't know, you might not want to be putting that out into the public sphere.
I think I'm. Hopefully, it's all good.
All right.
But yeah, this was my first actual party, and it was a theater party.
You just said that
Because
your
I don't.
last what? That doesn't make any sense. You just said your last not real party was a theater thing, and now this is a theater thing. What's saying that
But
it's
this is like
not?
an actual party. That was an event more than a party. Without going into too much detail, because it's sort of supposed to be secret. And if there's any freshmen who listen to this podcast,
Oh,
I don't
right.
want
I
to
think
away.
I know what you're talking about, where you didn't.
It's
Yeah, I get it.
it's not hazing. It's not hazing.
Yeah, let's
It's
not
just a
talk about
thing.
this anymore before.
Just
Yeah, great.
yeah.
Way to make
But
all of
this
our
was an
listeners very
actual
uncomfortable. Thank you.
theater party. No, nothing bad happened. No one should be uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, please let us know, and we'll adjust.
Remember in the first episode
Listeners.
when you said welcome, and I said if they're not welcome yet, they should just leave?
Yeah, you really alienated a lot of people.
Really? How can you tell?
No, we've had like 20 listens on the first
I
episode,
know, I saw that and I was so happy. I'm sure that
and people seem to
19
like
of
it.
them are my mom.
I think 19 of them are my mom. Maybe they listen together.
They probably do. I think that'd be funny.
But episode 2 has 6. Last I checked.
Oh, you
I
dropped
uploaded
it too.
this
Okay,
afternoon.
great. That's cool.
Yeah, I think on Monday's gonna be our upload
Oh,
day.
nice, nice.
But people like it so far. One of my good friends, shout out to Serena. Like every time she listens to one, she comes with like comments and questions about it.
Okay, that's great.
So we do have an audience. We do have people listening who want us to stay friends.
We got a solid one person named Serena. That's great.
Better than no one.
Can we like break the fourth wall now that I know that I hate that, but anything you
for
want
it.
to say to Serena and freak her the frick out right now because she'll be listening?
You have anything you want to say to Serena to freak her the frick out?
No, I don't know this person at all. She's not my friend.
Just say hello then.
Well, hi, thanks for listening. Glad you can comment to Ethan about how you're liking the podcast. On to the next topic. Are you a vest man? Do you like vests? Vests, yes or no? Don't like sleeves?
Welcome to
Just wear a
Vestcast,
vest.
where we talk about fashion.
What?
Vests are good though. I do like vests.
Yeah, you're into them? I know a lot of people
I'm
that
into 'em.
aren't into them. But I feel like here at
What?
Sterling, there's more people that are into vests than aren't.
I just think they're stylish.
Yeah, right?
Like you get a nice button down on a vest, maybe a tie underneath, you look fantastic.
Yes, exactly.
And then you put a jacket over it, and you look extra stylish because it's
Right.
like you're wearing a three-piece suit.
You could
Three-piece suit,
I don't know,
excuse me.
meet the president in that.
It's true.
I mean, maybe not our current president, but like you could meet Barack Obama in that.
It's true. You can meet a lot of people in that. You can meet the Queen,
Queen of England, probably.
Shaquille O'Neal, maybe.
Yeah, you can meet Shaq. Sure. You'd have to
Just
like
name a
get on
famous dude
stilts
at this
just to
point.
shake his hand, but yeah.
But hey, you can get stylish ones that would go along with your outfit.
So you're into vests though. No
I
controversy
do
there.
like vests. I think vests are a great investment. Ha ha.
Well, great. So we can get our vest sponsorships now. That's awesome. Glad we're on the same page
Perfect.
with that.
Vestcast. We'll change the name just for our sponsor.
All right. Well, that checks off another thing on my list to talk to you on the podcast about.
Were vests genuinely on the list?
It was. This is how I wrote it. There's a little dash where I put the check mark if I've talked to you about it or not. So just put a check mark over that dash. But anyways, that said vests, ? Yes or no? That was literally on a list of paper
I mean, that is a good question.
is in
vests
front
are
of me
good.
right now. Yep.
Are vests really controversial with some people?
I feel like people are either into them or not into them.
Yeah. I don't
But
know.
I'm wearing a
I
vest
just-
right now, and it's great.
I'm not. I don't actually own a vest.
Well, I don't see how you can be a vest man if you don't own a vest. But
Because I've worn them in like shows and stuff, and I always enjoyed them.
all right. Well, all right. Vest. vest side hustle, I guess. You like them when you get them, but you don't like them
Yeah,
enough to own one. I see how it is.
a good vest kind of costs some money, and I don't have a lot of money.
Well, to make a long story short, I bought a vest for somebody at a thrift store for a mere $3, and it was great.
I should go thrift shopping more then.
Should go
I
thrift
guess that's
shopping.
the.
Gonna pop some tags. Got $20 in my pocket. Next topic. Do you remember when Ted accused me of stealing a Spanish book in 8th grade?
Oh my God,
Do you
yes.
remember
That
that?
was so vaguely. I like until you brought it up. No,
I just
but it's
remembered
just like
that the
it's been
other
sitting
day,
in the
and I
back of my mind.
remember it was crazy.
You think like eighth grade was tense.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like the
for
whole
other
friend group was
reasons
just on
besides this,
edge.
but I feel like
Well,
so. Let me lay it down from my perspective.
yeah. Let's let the listeners hear the story.
So we're hanging out at lunch, right? Everybody's at the table with lunch. We got our books for the next class or like for throughout our day, and there's a whole bunch of books on the table. And I decided to do something funny with them, and that's mix them up. And everybody else thought it was funny, and everybody got their books back. And then Ted, we all move on to our, fourth period class or whatever.
Right?
And then later that day on Google Hangouts, which isn't even a thing anymore. It's now
Throwback
Google Chat. What is that?
talk or something like that.
Yeah,
Google
whatever.
Chat. I don't know.
Google
It's
Hangouts,
something.
which isn't even a thing. Anyways,
We're
Ted.
showing our age.
Yeah, right. Ted texted me and he's like, "Yo, you stole my Spanish book. Where is it?" I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Everybody got their books back at the end of lunch, and you went to your class. It's fine." He's like, "No, no, really, I know you stole my Spanish book. Where is it?" And I was like, "Seriously, I don't know where it is." He was like, "If you don't give me back my Spanish book, I'm gonna go to the principal and tell him you stole it."
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Well, good luck with that, cause I don't know where it is." And then guess what? Guess where it was?
He went,
Guess where he found
where
it?
was it? Was it in
In
his
his
backpack?
Spanish classroom. In the classroom where the book was supposed to be, that he used it for the class. It was ridiculous.
I remember just Ted was not just Ted. I shouldn't say that. Like everyone just got super petty about everything on Google Hangouts, and of course that's where everything went down.
Yeah, it was. It was a
I was
battlefield.
searching for a picture on someone's Google Plus account back when that was a thing. Uh, Over winter break, I was searching for a picture because it was from filming, and I wanted to find some
No,
old
don't
pictures
ever
from
do
filming.
that.
And so scrolling through some of the stuff we said in middle school,
Yeah, don't ever do that.
oh my God,
I,
I would have hated to be friends with
I
us.
really hope all of those get somehow just irreparably deleted.
Me too.
Like, I'm a
I hope
man that
that
likes to, like, I write a journal constantly. I'm all about this, like, memory, reverence type of deal. But those things can get buried in a hole and stay there forever.
yes, please.
Right?
Oh wow,
Middle school is
that's
when you're, like, the worst version of yourself, I feel like. Unless you're, like, a
that's
Nazi war criminal. Unless you're, like, imagine Nazi war criminals in middle school. How awful they must have been.
that's no one should have to face that kind of evil.
That's right. Imagine a little
That's
moody Hitler in middle school with his, like, dumb bangs.
you stole my Spanish homework.
And it's like, no, I don't mean to. No, don't do that. I don't mean to compare Ted to that. That's not.
No,
That's
Ted,
not
if
what
you're
I was
listening,
planning on
sorry, you're not
doing.
Hitler. I'm just picturing, how like middle schoolers, if they have any facial hair, it's like peach fuzz, like disgusting.
Right now, imagine that, but
I'm
like
picturing like a
only where
peach
the
fuzz
Hitler
Hitler
mustache would
stash.
be.
That's
I
what I'm
think it'd be
picturing right now, and
hilarious.
it is pretty funny. But let's not forget, listeners, that Adolf Hitler was an evil, evil person, and we can laugh at him, but we can never forget that he was a monster.
Oh yeah, totally. Have you been on YouTube recently?
Now and then.
Have you seen that ad from the I think it's the Polish national like arts foundation or whatever that's like putting out this like we stand with on the side of history. We believe the Holocaust happened or something.
I haven't, but that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And then there's like this weird like CGI video of like Holocaust things going on. and like Auschwitz and like yeah, I don't know. I just saw it the other day and it's like one of those ads that sort of catches your attention and you watch it for more than like
Right.
the mandatory 3 seconds. Yeah.
I hope I get it. I can
I
always look it up.
yeah, I don't know. It's just thought it'd be interesting to. But yeah, so Ted accused me of stealing his Spanish book, and I don't think he's ever apologized for it. So yeah, I felt like I should call him out on the podcast now that I have a form.
Maybe this is where the apology comes from.
Right, this is where I can call people out publicly. I've never had that before.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone I want to call out now.
Let's call people out. It's called Call Out Cast. We just point at people and call them out for doing stuff that maybe they didn't even do.
Do you remember we went to high school and middle school with a guy named Anthony? I don't want to say his last name because we don't want to identify people. He was in Scouts with us.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, that probably narrows it down real good, but sure, yeah.
He tried to strangle me in middle school.
Wait.
Have you heard that story?
What? I don't know if okay. Let's just like can we should I get my lawyer in the room or something? I feel like well maybe we crossed the line when we start counting out social security numbers, but go ahead.
Yeah, this one we're legally like done. No lawyer's gonna take us. But anyway, so in 6th grade, I remember it. We were sitting at lunch, and he sat with us for some reason, even though we weren't really friends with him. It was just like when you sat with people you knew those days.
Okay.
And he was upset about something, but like not genuinely, just like making a big deal to get attention.
Okay.
And he sat down and he spilled maple syrup on one of his books.
Okay.
And like started crying, I think, or like got upset about it.
Okay.
And I was in middle school, and this was kind of mean, but I laughed.
Yeah.
And this next thing I'm gonna say is gonna involve profanity. Should I say the profanity or should I like bleep it out? I'll skip the profanity. I'll just finish the story quickly.
Sure.
Basically, he says to me, "You think it's funny?" and then said some profane things. And then, like, jumped and put his hands around my neck and just, like, he was in middle school, so I was fine. I wasn't actually suffocating. But it was just kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can call Ted out for something silly, but I can't call someone out for strangling me?
Yeah, but that's like, I feel like, I don't know. No, I get it. I get it. I get what you're saying. I feel like there's a line that's like crossed physically when, when that could be like, it can't be prosecuted now, of course, but like, there, yeah, I don't know.
No, that's valid. You're right. We'll see if I leave this in or not.
I'm sure you will, because you don't do any editing.
I do a lot of editing.
Do you?
I listen to the whole thing before I export it.
But like editing, like do you cut anything or like mix
I
it
cut
or
like extraneous things. Like if we spend a lot of time at the beginning just like goofing off.
Oh,
I'll
I see.
cut some of that.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know what you're editing out of this. I listened to the first one, but not the second one. So maybe you'd maybe say some horrible stuff in the second one. Do you ever like cut my voice like so I like match sentences, even though I can completely tell that they like didn't string those sentences together because they're like tone and meter doesn't match at all. But when they do that to like I don't know famous people to make them sound like they've said something dumb. Didn't we talk about this last podcast when you can?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And I did a really bad Barack Obama impression.
Are you doing that to me?
That remains to be seen. Stay on my good side.
Thanks for the idle threat there, but cool.
I got you, pal.
All right, well that checks off another awkward box on my list.
Was that
one,
genuinely on your list?
Yeah, it was a little dash. Now it has a check mark on it, but it said Ted Spanish book next to it. That's what that was.
Huh.
I thought of this the other day, and I was like, this would be interesting to talk to Ethan about.
I'm glad you brought it up. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Middle school
I mostly laughed
it's funny
at
to
it.
think back on. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, what else is on your list? Since you did all the prep work.
All right. I think I got one more that we can talk about relatively easily. Another one I wrote down just like 40 minutes ago, and I think we'll save that one for when the statute of limitations is out. Um,
Okay.
but for
And
now,
once I have a list too, I'll start keeping a list.
you should write it down. I'm writing it down in a sponsored notebook called Field Notes that we should definitely be sponsored by because I love them and I use their products all the time. They're real
Hell
great.
yeah.
Everybody should get one. Um, Next, isn't it going to be funny when we actually get sponsors and then people won't know what the difference is between what we're sponsoring and what we're just jokingly sponsored by?
It'll make the podcast even more exciting.
I feel like sponsors wouldn't like that though, because they would never know. They'd be like, "This is just an idle like thing. Like nobody can trust us because we don't like." You know what I'm saying? Once we get sponsors, we can only talk about those sponsors, not just the jokingly bit of everybody sponsoring us or not.
Yeah. We'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll burn that bridge and cross it real good.
We should cross it before we burn it, but
No, I think we'll cross it as it's burning down.
make it more exciting. Get some cool stories out of it.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Well, no, really, you would like light it on fire and then walk across, and then be like, "Oh shoot, I forgot something on the other side," and then go to turn around and walk across and see that just then it's falling into the water.
You've thought this through.
I really did. One thing I've been thinking about recently about fire and bridges, this has nothing to do with bridges, mostly about fire, is that I want to start a fire on a frozen lake.
Oh, dude, I'm in.
Doesn't that seem so satisfying?
Until the ice melts.
Yeah, but then like, okay, you'd be standing far enough away that the ice wouldn't crack and you wouldn't fall in. But then think of the fire that would sink down through the cracking ice into the lake.
That would be really satisfying, you're right.
Right? Wouldn't that be amazing?
We're doing it sometime.
We got to do it sometime. There's a frozen lake
Anyway,
not too far by me. I mean, it's
Yeah,
probably illegal to do
you're
this.
super far from
somehow,
me.
But yeah. You got any frozen
So
lakes
let's-
around? Maybe
it's
in your
too
fridge.
In my freezer, I got some ice.
Oh, you got
That's
some
sort of a
frozen lakes in
lake.
your freezer.
Yeah,
What if we called ice trays frozen lakes?
let's start it. Just Catchupcast things. Hashtag.
Hey, I'd like. Well, no, that's what it was though. Eventually, like before we invented, industrial.
Right, they go out to lakes and they would cut the ice.
So when
From
you were
that.
like,
So I
at
can
a
have ice
restaurant
houses and
and they'd
stuff.
offer you ice water, which was super fancy. You'd be like, "Can I have a little frozen lake in my water?" And then be like, "Oh, he's cultured," and then they'd like
Oh my.
ice axe off some frozen water from frozen lake and plunk it into your fancy water.
I want that. I want to be that fancy guy.
I want to go back to like bespoke artisan lake ice as water and ice now.
Let's build a time machine and go be those guys.
No, but I want to like make that. I want to like do that now. I want that to be like a hipstery comeback for frozen lake water.
Let's start it here on Catchupcast. We're putting a call out for people who want to join the Ice Collective. The Frozen
We'll
Lake
start a
Collective.
GoFundMe or something.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Maybe a Patreon.
Anyway, you got this thing you want to talk about?
What thing do I want to talk about?
The thing on your list?
Yeah, that was frozen ice lakes. That was on my list too.
So we've covered your list then.
No, that's not true. So this one starts out with a dash, and that says start, and then I spelled a word wrong, so I etched it out, like covered it in ink, and then ... and then Tinder.
Oh my.
So I hope during that awkward silence that you paused to figure that out, that everybody who's listening to this just like either like minimized the window that they were looking in or like picked up their phone out of their pocket just to check to see if the episode had ended or like their phone died or something. I think it'd be funny.
So start Tinder. What's that? Like, what is?
I've just thought interestingly, maybe that's something I want to do now, which is incredible considering I don't even have any other social media at all. Like, that's the one I would jump
You
into.
gotta start somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be interesting and fun. And
No, Tinder's fun. I may or may not be on it. I have never actually messaged anyone. Because
wait,
I'm
do you not
terrified.
want to reveal if you're on it or not?
My mom listens to this podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh shoot, my mom
It's all
probably.
good.
God damn it. All right, well, great. Either way,
No, it's all good.
I
It's all
just said
good.
I would want to.
No,
I didn't
I
say I was going to. Okay. Also, who knows if I'm going to use my real name or not? Probably not, because there'd be hordes of people that listen to this going to try and find me on that, and I don't really want that type of fame.
they'd have to be near you to find you.
Yeah, that's the point. Which also where I live currently right now, probably not like it'd come up with
I
like
was
the
thinking
same
that.
5 people, and it'd be really annoying.
Yeah. But hey, you do you. Because who knows? Maybe you'll meet, the love of your life.
Probably not. I don't feel like that's the place that would happen.
I don't think so either. But it's okay. It's fun, right? That's what life's all about, having fun.
So I think we'll end it there then.
Wait, I gotta do my movie recommendation.
Oh, oh right, I forgot you're doing this every time.
I'm a movie guy. I gotta get in on that.
All right, go ahead. I'll just I don't know, browse the internet or something while you're doing it.
So listeners, as we all know, Pixar films are amazing, right, Isaac?
Okay, hold on. Are they all connected? What do you think about that?
I think that's a great theory, and maybe next episode we can delve into that a little bit.
What?
I'll...
You're gonna leave it on that cliffhanger? Jesus.
Well, I don't have time to Google like the theory.
All right. We'll get into it. Well, I'll write that down to talk about next episode.
I'll write it down too. I'll write it on a post-it. So anyway, next episode, that's a little sneak peek for next episode, listeners. But Pixar's latest film is called Coco. And it's nominated for Best Animated Picture in the Oscars, which may have already happened by the time this comes out. It's probably going to win.
Okay.
But it is such a good movie. I cried really hard and laughed, and it's got great music. And if you haven't seen it, you should absolutely go see it. I'm projecting it this weekend with my school's film group.
All right.
But that'll have passed. But if you're from Denison, you should definitely go to watch movies on Fridays and Saturdays. And if you're not from Denison, if you go to school in a tree in Vermont, you should watch movies when you can. I guess.
I've got the Netflix-y thing. Is it on that red-faced streaming service?
It is not yet.
Oh. All right. Well, guess not then.
But if you have the chance, I highly recommend it. So yeah, that's my movie recommendation of this week is Coco. And with that, I guess that's the podcast.
So apparently they're going to release in the Rainbow Rain on cassette. Isn't that funny?
Does stuff even play cassettes anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. Also, how do you fit 10 songs on a cassette?
I mean, double-sided.
Or is that an 8-track player that I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Are they squeezing two more
cool,
tracks
though.
onto this? All right.
We'll have to
Bye-bye.
find out in April. Thanks for listening, guys. See you next week.